I think I went to high school in 1991. I'm sure I went to high school in 1991.
I can't remember now world events. Oh, there was the Gulf War against Saddam Hussein after his invasion of
Gulf
Kuwait.
War One.
Yeah, and then what else happened in 1991? Well, the Berlin Wall was late 1990. That was November 1990.
David Hasselhoff singing with his illuminated jacket.
How does that get remembered so
Only thing
much?
I remember about it
is I saw someone on a TV quiz show the other day, and he was too young to remember 1990, and he was asked a question about the Berlin Wall, and then he came up with this David Hasselhoff thing, and he said, "That's what I can remember. I know the Berlin Wall came down, and that David Hasselhoff sang." I thought,
sang on it, yeah.
How is that the most remembered thing?
With his light up jacket.
And I have come across German people.
Have you? Did they mind?
No, in the years since, who get really aghast at this idea that people have got that Germans all like listening to David Hasselhoff because of that incident.
And eating sausage.
Yeah, and they're like, we don't like David Hasselhoff.
I'll tell you what, give me 1 second. Talking of the Hoff, 1 second. If I can get up, I'm old.
Okay. Are you going to jump in his car?
Let's see if I can sit down.
I'm just glad you didn't come back in a pair of Baywatch swimming trunks.
I've got the Hoff with me. Because I just need to get him out. Come here, Dave. Come on. Come on. Out you come. Out your little cage. There you go.
Great.
How good is that? Because
is that Knight Rider? Is that the Knight Rider version of him? Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's a nice bit of kit you got there, Ben.
It is. Look. It's my brother bought it me for Christmas. It's it's obviously Playmobil because I am a massive child.
That should give our viewing figures a turbo boost.
It should do, yeah. And look, you get the car, and obviously it's even got the proper wheels on it and everything.
Wow.
I don't know if you can see up here, but that's the Corgi Knight Rider up there, and obviously the Corgi 18 van here. I put them there because I didn't know where to put them, so they're up there for the time being. So, but yeah, that's my little David Hasselhoff thing. But 1991. Yeah. Are you ready for some albums from 1991?
I do remember some of the albums of 1991, but you can tell us what they are.
Well, I am looking at, and this is from a website called Digital. God, my speech is awful. DigitalDreamDoor.com, and it is the top 100 albums of 1991. Now, I'm not going to go into them all, obviously, because we haven't got all day. But, we have got all day. Unless something tragic happens, we have all day. But I'll pick out a few, and you can tell me. Now, number 100, good place to start. Hymns to the Silence by Van Morrison.
Okay, I don't actually know that album. I know a fair few Van, as you can imagine, but I don't actually know that one.
No. At 97, Home Base. It's obviously about DIY. By DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. I think that was their debut album.
Okay, because that got Summertime on it. Wasn't that Will Smith? Wasn't he involved with that?
Yeah, he's the Fresh Prince.
He was the Fresh Prince, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. 96. Now, I could have had Betty Boo in my 1990 because it turns out he's too legit to quit. MC Hammer's at 96.
I now recall that title. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, then we have some Julian Cope, Swans. Never heard of them. Luther Vandross. 808 State. I remember them because they were named after it. Isn't it like a drum machine or something? The 808.
Yeah.
Mr. Bungle and Mr. Bungle. Don't remember them. Jesus Jones is in there. Super Chunk. Richard Thompson, never heard of him. Aaron Neville, never heard of him.
Richard Thompson's a highly regarded folk artist.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Billy Bragg, Don't Try This at Home, is at 86. There's some Ned's Atomic Dustbin in there as well.
I remember them, yeah. I'd forgotten all about Jesus Jones until he just mentioned them.
Yeah. Just going through here. So you got Ned's Atomic Dustbin. There's some Sting. Chapter House, do you remember them?
Yeah, vaguely. Not well.
There's some NWA are in there with Efil Zagin, something like that anyway. Throwing Muses.
That was the band with Tanya Donnelly was in that band.
Yeah. Human by Death,
I think.
77. Oh, one of your favourite out. Lean Into It, Mr. Big.
Oh dear.
God, do you remember that? To be with you, wasn't it?
Oh, that was awful. Stop it. No, that was awful.
Some Van Halen. CMB, Colour Me Bad. I wanna sex you up.
What was the Van Halen one? Was that For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge?
That is, yes.
That's the one, yeah. I remember that coming out, yeah.
Spellbound, Paula Abdul.
Okay.
Hole, Pretty on the Inside.
Yes, that was the first. Was that the first whole album? It was the first one that got very much attention, anyway.
Yeah,
but
there is a Neil Young album in there at 64.
That's got to be. Oh, that's the live one. Yeah, okay.
Then you got LFO, Dinosaur Jr. Weren't they on Creation or something?
They're American. Yeah, that's the American.
So what do
band.
I know Dinosaur Jr. from? Maybe from a free CD. Fox Base Alpha, and I like that album by St. Etienne. That's at 57. Goat by Jesus Lizard.
Okay. What's the Dinosaur Jr. album? Is that Where You Been?
Green Mind.
Yeah.
Fear by Toad the Wet Sprocket. Have no idea.
Remember the name, never heard the music.
Yeah, I can't read out number 51 because it's Mariah Carey and it just makes me ill.
Whose list is this?
This is from Digital Dream Door. Now, I don't know if they've compiled the list or whether that's just the link for it. At 50, Roxette and Joyride, because she obviously sadly passed away. I think it was last year or the year before.
Yeah, I remember them. Yeah, Swedish pop.
Yeah, the Pixies are in at 49 with Trompe Le Monde.
Okay.
Ooh, and then some Tupac with Tupacalypse Now. Ooh, I do like a bit of hip hop.
Tupacalypse Now.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. Bandwagon-esque by Teenage Fan Club.
I've got that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's an album that I said that you should listen to because I think it may have influenced the Oasis
Is that the
sound.
one with the money bag on the...
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Then you've got Gish by the Smashing Pumpkins at 43.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Innuendo by Queen at 42.
I like that album. That's the last. That was Freddie Mercury's final album.
Is that the one with Show Must Go On it?
It is on there.
Yeah. Waking Up the Neighbours, Bryan Adams, is at 41.
Okay.
So we get into... Oh, God, I've just seen number 38. Oh, my God. How is that in there? But anyway, number 40, A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing by Black Sheep. Ozzy Osbourne gets in there at 39 with No More Tears. Number 38, oh, God. Time, Love and Tenderness, Michael Bolton.
Really? This is not a critics list, is it? Who's made this list?
I don't know, but they should be taken out to the paddock. At 37, The Orb's Adventures Beyond the Ultra World by The Orb.
Yeah.
Tom Petty is at 36 with Into the Great Wide Open. Matthew Sweet is at 35. 34 is Jodeci. Pocket of Kryptonite, Full of Kryptonite by the Spin Doctors at 31.
Oh, yeah, that's one for you to listen to. Yeah. Oh,
I do remember the adverts for that. It was quite
Was it quite marketed?
Yeah, I remember the adverts on TV for that one. Diamonds and Pearls, Prince at 29.
Yeah.
Stars, Simply Red, and that wasn't a bad album. I mean, I'm not a massive Simply Red fan, but the Stars album, remember my mum had it. I mean, I'll have to, no, I won't revisit it, but I'm pretty sure. Seal with Seal is at 26.
Now, do you know what? That's an album. I've got
Is that,
a weird history with that
is that
Seal
one with
album.
Killer on it?
Yeah, it is on. No, it is on there, but he remade it with Trevor Horn because the Adamski one was the first one, and then that album was done with Trevor Horn. That's got Crazy on it as well.
Is he Buggles, Trevor Horn?
Yeah. Then he did produce Frankie Goes to Hollywood and the Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah, he's done loads, hasn't he?
Some say Trevor Horn was the man who invented the sound of 80s pop. But yeah, what was I going to say about the Seal album? I used to be in one of these music. Do you remember when you used to get CDs on mail order from these clubs
Britannia.
that you could join? Yeah. I used to get because I think
it was forget to send them back.
Yeah. Well, I think at one time they sent me the Seal album, and I didn't want it because sometimes you got sent one if you didn't say you didn't want it or something.
Yeah, you got the monthly choice one.
You got one. I got the Seal album, and then I sent it back. I decided I didn't want it. And then I think that either happened again or something else, or I somehow came across the Seal album again.
Did you?
And I then, or someone gave it to me, or lent it, whatever. And then I couldn't decide whether I liked it or not. I don't know why I couldn't decide at that time whether I liked it or not. And then I think I got rid of it again. And then I think I ended up with a CD of it again. And do you know what? I have played it years ago. And it is a good album, but for some reason, I never really got into it, and I have been meaning to play it again to see whether I still like it. But I think I would be more open to it now than I was at the time.
Well,
but
maybe I'll have to give it a listen as well. I think
I do like the song "Crazy," and do you remember they also did "Future Love Paradise"? That was another song that was on there.
Yeah.
I had a kind of a weird thing with that album that sort of came into my possession, and then I got rid of it, and then came back again. And for some reason, it's kept on knocking on the door with me. Maybe I need to open my mind to it. And
yeah, let it in.
Yeah,
unless it's carrying a machete, then don't. Anyway, 24 is De La Soul is Dead by De La Soul. 23, Mama Said by Lenny Kravitz. Talks, Laughing Stock at 22.
Oh, was that the final? That was the final one, wasn't it? Under the Talk name, I think so.
Now we get into quite a heavy hip hop part of the top 20 we're into now. OG Original Gangster, Ice-T at 20. Bonnie Raitt, I don't know who that is. Look at the draw.
Don't you know Bonnie Raitt?
Nope.
She's the she's American, but she's like a bit of a rocker. She was kind of like the prototype for Sheryl Crow.
No, that's probably why I've not heard of her then.
She did that song, I Can't Make You Love Me. Remember that one? It was then later covered by both George Michael and Prince.
Oh, I do know the song, yeah. At 18, Death Certificate, Ice Cube.
Okay.
17, Apocalypse 91, Public Enemy.
Yeah.
16, Temple of the Dog. Never heard of them.
I've never listened to that album. Maybe I should listen to that. But that's kind of like... Is that kind of alternative rock, or is it not as alternative as I think?
I've never heard of them.
It sounds quite alternative from the title, doesn't it? But
yeah. So into the top 15. So I'll read these out. I'll go down these in order. 15 is Dangerous by Michael Jackson. Is that the one with black and white on it?
That was
I think it is, isn't it?
Jam, and then I did listen to a little bit of Michael Jackson not long ago for some reason. Something started it off, but that's the album that's like half a swing beat album. It's half like funky jamming
Yeah,
sort of funky tracks that were produced by Teddy Riley. So he was trying to be very contemporary, but then some of it was also like old-fashioned Michael Jackson, like "Heal the World" and stuff like
yeah.
that. Very
So,
long album.
at 14, Screamadelica,
Oh yeah.
Primal Scream. At 13, Bad Motorfinger by Soundgarden.
Okay.
At number 12, not the highest ranking hip hop album, is Cypress Hill and Cypress Hill.
Was that the one with "Insane in the Membrane," or was
I
that
think so, yeah.
Did that come?
Yeah.
Or did that come later on?
No, I'm sure that's around 90. It's either 91 or 93.
Is that the one that's got
So
like a hill on the front with like a graveyard on the front of it or
I'd
something?
have to double check. In
Can't
fact,
remember.
I'll double check at some point. At number 11, Loveless by My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, one of the shoegaze classics of all time. Although maybe hardcore shoegaze fans will say it's not the definitive shoegaze album, but it's certainly one that got a lot of plaudits at the time.
Yeah.
But that's one of those albums that you have to say you like, even if you've never actually listened to it.
I've never listened to it. I like it.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, it's a while since I've heard it, to be honest.
Right, we're into the top 10.
Yeah.
And the top 10 starts a little bit of trip hop with Blue Lines by Massive Attack. At number 9, Use Your Illusion 2 by Guns N' Roses.
Well, they're separating them because sometimes people treat them as one big album.
No, it's been separated because at number 8 is Use Your Illusion by Guns N' Roses.
Use Your Illusion 1. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. At 7, Out of Time, REM.
Yeah. Getting into the albums that I had at the time, I still like the Guns N' Roses album. I think I've confessed that before, haven't I? But,
yes, you have, yeah. And
still
then
like
at
the
6,
REM album.
yeah, well, so I've got Out of Time by REM. I've not listened to it that much, to be fair. At number 6, a band that I put through for 1990, it's The Low End Theory by A Tribe Called Quest.
Okay, yeah.
At 5, top 5, Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic.
That's a
Red
funky one.
Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't think I've ever listened to that album, so I'm going to have to...
Oh, it's a good one.
So, at 4, Metallica, a.k.a. the Black Album
Oh, yeah,
by
yeah,
Metallica.
Forgot about that one. 91,
yeah. So, any ideas what you think might be in the top 3? We're down to the top 3.
1991. There's a lot of them have gone that I was expecting to be perhaps up there. I think U2 did Achtung Baby in 91, and I think that's hasn't been mentioned yet, so surely that's going to be in the top 3.
Number 3 is Achtung Baby by U2.
Okay, so that means
into the top 2.
And
it says here, the criteria, it does have a criteria on here. Criteria. Yeah. These music albums from the year 1991 were chosen for their immediate and lasting popularity, impact, influence, and acclaim from critics and musicians. This list does not include greatest hits albums. No.
Okay, so
yearly album lists go by the earliest release date, not necessarily the year an album peaked in the US charts. So this is a US thingy then, by the looks of it.
It is a little bit leaning towards America, isn't it, with the choices on there?
We'll find another list when we talk about 91 again to go through.
Okay, so it's a combination of popularity and critical acclaim, basically. Okay, well, I know, I've just thought of another album that will be on the list, and I think that will be the number 1. So I'm just trying to work out what would be the other album that's missing from 1991 that was a big album. Because I think Nirvana Nevermind is going to be on there for sure. I think they'll probably put Nirvana's Nevermind at number 1. So what would number 2 have been? That's a good question. I can't think. I'm going to kick myself when I work out what this album is. You see, Primal Scream, Screamadelica. If it was NME or something, they would have Screamadelica high up
Well,
there,
we'll do
wouldn't
with
they?
an NME list next time.
It's got to be it's got to be an American album, hasn't it? Up there.
It's an American album by a band that you like, I think. Yes.
I don't know. It's a band that I like, and it's number 2 for 1991.
Number 2, they like cutting up guitars in one of their music videos. Was that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the video I'm thinking
I can't
about.
think what that video is. So I'm trying to think, when was Pearl Jam 10? Was that 91 as well? Or what, did that come slightly afterwards? I think maybe that came out in 92, I'm thinking. So
It is what I'm thinking of. It is the band I'm thinking of. So, do you want me to give you a countdown clock?
1991, an album by a band. Is it an American band?
It's an American band.
And we're not talking about Nirvana, because I think Nirvana's on that list, but number 1. Am I right in that, thinking
10,
that?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Phil,
No,
we now need your answer.
I can't think.
It was 10 by Pearl Jam.
Oof.
I just wanted to tease you a bit more.
Okay.
So,
it was
and
there.
at number 1, do you want to know what number 1 is?
It's Nevermind. Gotta be.
It isn't Nevermind.
It hasn't been mentioned. It's got to be on there.
Oh,
surely.
I missed that out. It's not Nevermind. It is actually Sailing the Seas of Cheese by Primus.
Really? I don't believe you.
All right, it was Nevermind.
I thought it might have been.
Yeah. So, Radio X do the 25 best albums of 1991.
Okay.
Oh my good God! How is that number 1?
Is it? Have they done the same again as they did with They Might Be Giants?
Oh God! Right, I'll quickly run through this list. At 25. Oh God, how is? Oh, anyway, 25. Actung Baby, U2.
Only 25.
Only 25. 24. My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah.
Number 3, Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger. 22, Orbital. Orbitals. There's a bit of a more English feel to these albums.
A bit more European, a bit more hip as well.
Yeah. 21 is Primal Scream, Screamadelica. 20, Pixies, Trompe le Monde. Wait, I need to see if this is right. If this is what they're saying is the best.
I'm surprised Primal Scream's not higher on that list, but yeah, carry on.
It just says the 25 best albums of 91, and it's in an order, so I'm presuming this is how they've rated them.
Okay.
So at 19, Nirvana, Nevermind.
Okay. That's lower than you might have thought.
Yeah, 18, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Magic. Then there's Use Your Illusion 1 or 2. Then there's Holes, Pretty on the Inside. 15, Fox-Based Alpha by St. Etienne. 14, 10 by Pearl Jam. 13, Leisure by Blur. 12, Metallica, the Black Album. 11, The Wonder Stuff, Never Loved Elvis.
Oh, I remember them. Yeah.
Right, we're into the top 10. So there is there's one American band in there, 2 American bands. There are 2 American bands in the top 10. At 10 is Electronic, which is a good album. Number 9, Smashing Pumpkins and Gish. 8, really love this album, is Blue Line's Massive Attack. 7, Ned's Atomic Dustbin and Godfather.
Okay, that's quite... that's interesting that that's so high.
Yeah, 6, Out of Time, R.E.M. I'm just having a look at the dates on this, because that seems to... I'm wondering if they've just listed. No, because there's no. No, I don't know. But anyway, number 5, according to Radio X, is 808 State and XL. At 4, KLF, The White Room. At 3, it's 30 something by Carter, The Unstoppable Sex Machine. So what do you reckon could be number 2 and number 1? And I'll give you a clue. One's from Manchester, one's from Liverpool.
Okay, so 1991. What would have been
91.
the band?
Number 2 is a solo artist. Was in a band, and then they split. He obviously went solo. His former bandmate appears on is part of an album that is in the top 10 that I've already mentioned.
Okay, so you just mentioned. I'm trying to think who you just mentioned. You mentioned Blur, but that can't be right because they haven't changed from bands. One's from Manchester, one's from Liverpool, one's a solo artist.
Number 2, he is from Manchester. He is a solo artist. He was in a band, big in the 80s, obviously, and his former bandmate appears in the album at number 10 with another lad from Manchester.
You just mentioned electronics, so that's got to be Peter Hook. No?
Oh, it's Morrissey.
Oh, of course. It's okay. Of course. I was trying to think, well, Peter Hook has done solo stuff, but he wouldn't
in Monaco,
be that high.
Didn't he? What do you want from me?
And I was trying to think, well, did Bernard Sumner from New Order do a solo album? I can't remember that. And then I was thinking Manchester, and I was thinking Ian Brown. It was too early for Ian Brown doing
Ian
solo
Brown,
stuff.
yeah.
And then how the hell did I not think of Morrissey? Is that Kill Uncle?
Yeah.
Now that's interesting because I remember at the time, that was considered to be not as good as
Viva La Hate.
Viva Hate, and what was the other one that had all the singles on it? Boner Drag. They were considered to be probably were considered to be the 2 highest rated Morrissey albums in the 90s.
Yeah.
And Kill Uncle was often thought of as being a little bit of a lackluster album. And they've now put that at number 2.
Yeah,
someone's doing some interesting revisionist stuff on this list. It's an interesting
whether these
list.
are in order of when they were released from the start of the year, maybe. But
what do they say about the Morrissey album? Do they say
about former Smiths frontman issued his second solo album, which included the singles "Our Frank" and "Sing Your Life." The record was produced by Clive Langer and Alan Winstanley, best known for their work with Madness. That's all it says.
Okay.
I don't know whether they've just put these in no particular order.
Give that a spin again.
Yeah, and number 1, a Liverpool band.
I'm trying to think which band from Liverpool had an album in '91 that was regarded as good. I mean, it's too late for Echo and the Bunnymen, isn't it? They didn't have an album.
We mentioned them in a previous show, and I famously had their pictures turned around.
They famously had their pictures turned around. That's confusing me now. It was not the Lars, because that was definitely 1990.
Yeah. It was during a contract signing. They had their pictures were on the wall, and they were famously turned around.
Okay, so it's not the Stone Roses. No, it's Liverpool band. And it's well, it's not Cast, because that came a little bit later, didn't it? Then that wouldn't have been that highly ranked on the list.
Cast.
Yeah, so that was a lot later. I'm trying to think of the band from Liverpool that's obviously obvious, and I can't think what it is. I'm trying to think of other bands from Liverpool. Well, it's too late for Frankie Goes to Hollywood, 91.
It's quite groovy, that hoodie, studio assistant. Could wear that on the train if we go on the train later.
So this is an indie band.
We could get together all together now, couldn't we? Yeah. I do like that. It's quite groovy, that is. We'll, if we go on the train later, we'll wear that, yeah.
Is this something to do that Noel Gallagher turned the pictures of this band around so they didn't see him sign his record deal. Was that what that was? The story
Yes,
was.
yeah, and I've just given you two big clues there as well. Just before then, while speaking to the studio assistant about his groovy hoodie.
Was this the case that Noel Gallagher liked this band, that he admired them a lot?
No, I don't think he had much respect for them.
He didn't like them. Who was the band from Liverpool? It's not the Boo Radleys. They weren't from Liverpool, though, were they? Or were they?
No. Do you want me to give you? Do you want me to give you the answer?
What's the other band from Liverpool? It's not. It's not Jellyfish. No, that was a bit later. No. Were they from Liverpool? I can't even remember now. What's the other band from Liverpool?
Do you want the answer? Was
this a band that got quite a lot of coverage at the time? We talked about quite a lot at the time.
I think so. Yeah,
yeah. In the media, they were a well-known band. Everyone who was into music knew who they were at the time.
Yeah, you would know who they are. When I tell you who they are, you're going to be like, right? Do you want me to tell you?
You have to tell me.
Right, everybody, all together now. It's The Farm.
Of course, they were from Liverpool. Oh, yeah, okay. That's number one. Get off.
Yeah. Didn't you get my clues when I said to the studio assistant, "There's a groovy hoodie. We could wear that on the train later." Well, groovy train.
Groovy. I think. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if this is in any particular order on their best albums of '91, but it does give us some to be going on with.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just looking at the Kerrang one, and the Kerrang one, yeah, it's got a few ones in there I do remember. I mean, Soundgarden's number 3, Metallica's, Nirvana is number 1 in theirs as well. So, yeah, we have a few to be getting on with and listening to. Methinks Temple of the Dog. Here we go. Temple of the Dog. They were a grunge group, Temple of the Dog.
I want to say it was quite alternative stuff.
Yeah.
Wonder if it still sounds any good now.
So we need to get back onto our listening devices, get some tunes in our ears, and try and, listen to MC Hammer is all I'm saying, Phil. That's all you've got to do, isn't it? So we're going to get on this. 1991. 1990 is dead and no more. Long live the king of 1991.
What have you got, viewers? What do you think? What was the best album of 1991? What's your favourites? Please don't say it's The Farm. I trust our viewers not to pick The Farm, to be quite honest.
I hope somebody picks The Farm. Even if I have to set up a fake account and put on there The Farm. That's what I'm going to do. So, 91. Leave us your thoughts down there. Put MC Hammer in, or Phil will come and get you.